Dang it, I'm like, did I forget something? Well, yeah, I forgot to pull up the chat. Which isn't a huge deal, because I think it's just me right now, but it needs to become a habit. I always start to stream and then I'm like, alright, perfect. And then, yeah, and then I realize. Okay. I actually got a mat this time. I'm popping. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm so tired. I need to warm up still. I kind of warmed up a bit, but I definitely want to be warmer before getting into these stretches. Hold on. I really want to make sure that the sound is not doubling for you guys. And I wouldn't even know. I'm just gonna assume that it's working. Yep. Oof. Like, I always do these regularly, and my hips are just like, this is grinding. This really wakes my body up. Cause I swear, I'll just be sitting there like, maybe I shouldn't stretch today. And then I'm like, but then that's one day you didn't do. Don't you want to get your split? Ugh. It's weird having a yoga mat. Don't mind my socks. I have like a bunch of house socks that are like long for the cold, but now they're all dirty. I wore my last pair yesterday, so I need to do some laundry. All right. I'm warm. I'm breathing all heavy and stuff. Oh my goodness. I always step on my laptop. I actually woke up, like, I don't know. My laptop was so far from me. Then I woke up laying on top of it. And I was like, dang, is it broken? It wasn't, but those things happen. Good afternoon. How are you? How's the morning? Going into the afternoon, how is that for you? Dang! I'm mad warm for just doing what I did. And I want to stay warm, but this thing is loading very, very slowly. I wish YouTube was kind of like Twitch, where you could just keep the same chat open, but each video needs its own new chat. Which I suppose at the end of the day it makes sense, but still. Okay. So I wanna stay warm, so while that's loading, I'm just gonna go into the first stretch. The first stretch is forward bend, standing forward bend. So knees about shoulder width apart. We're just bending straight down. Make sure your back stays in line. Really lean into your exhales. I have problems because I didn't put the timer. So now I have to count. Okay, we're gonna use the timer from now on. Ding, ding, dee, dee, dee. Alright, because I do want to hold these for a minute. I don't know why, like my internet is being garbled right now. As long as I can see the chat, I'm gonna care. Oh, I can't see the chat. So now I care. Okay, it finally loaded. Jeez. It was just a black box. Alright, so we're gonna go into pigeon pose. Let me move this so you guys can actually see. Alright, pigeon pose. Bringing our knee up. Our foot's going out. Don't worry so much about having this be completely straight, because the whole point is to square your hips, right? So if you can't square them like that, bring your heel closer to your body, square your hips, and sink into that stretch. You shouldn't be feeling any pain. Really activate your glutes and drive your hip into the ground. So this hip that's raised, actively trying to pull it towards the ground. Your body's probably not actually gonna move, but you'll feel the resistance. 5 more seconds. Remember to come out of everything slowly, slowly. Do not force your body into or out of anything. You'll hear me say that like a million times a day. There's a lot of people, they're like, oh yeah, I won't force my body into something, but don't force it out either. Like throwing yourself out of a stretch. Go slow. So same thing, other side. This side is tighter for me. I'm actively driving my right hip now into the floor. I just have my hand here to create more resistance so I can lean my body into it. That's just my own variation for my body. Make sure you listen to yours. My goodness. Slowly come out of that. Alright, let's go into our low lunge position. Alright. So, a low lunge gets a bit of everything. For me, I mainly feel it in my quads, my glutes. You may feel it in your hamstrings. Remember, so you're pushing your hips forward. Sometimes it helps to have your arms back. I like to keep my arms here during the stretch. Really drive my hips forward. Make sure you're engaging your glutes the whole time. If I'm breathing loud, it's just, yo, I got asthma, I'm trying to control my breathing. And when it comes to stretching, I like to exaggerate my exhales so I can really like signal my body and my mind to lean into things, to really like further activate, further push into the stretch as long as my body allows it. So from this position, we're gonna slowly lean back, keep this foot outstretched, almost like we're about to sit, but we're not. We're gonna lean over this front leg. My socks coming out. Hold on. I have this little strap. Wow. Awesome. Okay, so we're leaning over this leg. What you're gonna do, you don't wanna try to you're not bringing your head to your knee. We're trying to bring our chest down to our quad. Yes, activate your lungs. Zeus knows. Yo, Zeus, we gotta do your 2 stretches of the day. I'll do them after this full set of leg stuff. So, really lean into your exhales. Trying to bring your chest down. You shouldn't be feeling any pain. For me, the balance balance is the hardest part. Oh my goodness. I'm about to topple over. Oh my goodness, my back leg is exhausted. And that's on being out of shape. Don't mind me, I'm struggling. But we getting it done. Alright, so we're going into our lizard pose. So really outstretch this back leg. And we're gonna come on the inside of our front foot. So if you feel the stretch here, you're like, oh, I feel a lot of resistance, then that's fine. I'm gonna go down onto my elbows. It's not about what it looks like, it's about, well, some of the form is very important, obviously, but you being on your hands and me being on my elbows, we're getting the same stretch. Whew. We're all starting at different flexibility levels. So I just like to hug around my foot, personally, with my body, that feels better. And this hip that's up with my right leg, I'm actively driving it into the ground, right? My left hip as well, both hips, driving towards the ground. They're not actually moving, but you will feel that resistance. I just have a tight shoulder, so if you ever see me go into that, just know it's for that. Okay, this sounds good. Got my strap. Okay, so we're gonna do the same 3 on the other side. So starting out with our low lunge. All right, remember you can outstretch your arms and you're almost bringing your shoulders back, right? Keeping your chest low, your chest open. I personally like to keep my hands here. Remember, drive your hips forward, activate your glutes. Toph, hello. I'm doing really good. I feel good. I feel like I'm really getting into these stretches. I'm excited for the progress. How are you? How's the week been? It's Friday. No, I don't do yoga. I've always stretched for sports, but I never did yoga. I've done like random yoga classes before, but I've never like been into yoga. Right. So also for all of these things, like anything where your knee is on the ground, if anyone's like, well, my knees hurt, I have knee problems, whatever the case is, it can be really helpful, especially if a mat like this, to just take it and roll it so that you double. If you need another roll, triple it, you know? So that would pretty much just look like this. So you have that extra cushion. Life hacks. Okay, so now from this, wait, yeah. From this forward lunge, we're gonna lean back. We're going into our half splits pose. Oh my goodness, Toph. Hey, you gotta do it. Your body deserves it. get your rest. So we're leaning back, keeping this leg outstretched. And now we're leaning over the leg. You're trying to bring your chest down to your quad, not your forehead down to your knee. So lean into that. My arms are just going out for balance purposes. Don't judge me. Lean in with your exhales. If you need that extra stretch, point your toes out, really get that full stretch here. So for me, I'm pointing my toes. I'm leaning in with my exhales, and I'm actively pulling my butt down towards the ground. So there's multiple points of resistance. Slowly come out of things. Gotcha. Yeah, no, yoga just was never my thing. I always wanted to do hot yoga specifically for flexibility. So hot yoga is basically like, imagine doing yoga in a sauna. So like that heat, it really loosens up your body. Maybe drowning in your own sweat. Oh my goodness, Tom. I addressed it earlier. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so have this leg outstretched. We're going into lizard's pose. So arms on the inside of this front foot. If you're good here, then you're good here. And you go down to your elbows, do that. 1 minute. And we're trying to drive your hips to keep them squared and going towards the ground. They shouldn't actually move, you'll just feel the resistance. I hook my arm around, again, that's just personally for my body. Whew. My left hip is so tight compared to my right. Control your breathing, especially when you have your chest down and like crouched like this. Inhala, exhala. Okay, slowly come out of this. Ah! Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright. Zeus, are you ready? I need more time. Okay, we're gonna go into our half squat position. Half squat position. So, just to be totally honest, I always did my half squats with my heel up and my leg out, and then I just pushed here and I felt this on here, right? I really get this here. But I often see people with their foot flat, right? And their legs out, and they're mad balanced, and it's crazy. So I'm gonna try to keep working on that, but I'm gonna use the wall to my assistance. Do whatever you feel, like if you're getting this good stretch, then you're good. Oof. Damn, like this stretch sucks. Yeah, I have my toes pointed away from me, pushing my knee. Well, you don't push from on top of your knee. It's more so a bit of my calf, a bit of my quad, kind of creating that resistance. It's like turning this leg away, turning this leg the opposite. And I'm feeling this all here. Depending on your body, you know, you could feel this in your low back as well, maybe more in your hips. I just feel this a lot, like hip and hamstring. I know I didn't hear my name. Never mind, Zeus. Keep your breathing controlled. Point your toes away. More than halfway there. Ten more seconds. Remember, we're coming out of things slowly. So I'm just gonna kind of sit back, slowly bring my leg in. Let those muscles get back into place. All right, other side. Zeus, listen, Rocket League boot camp is starting today. I don't got time for Sims. Maybe one day a week, but like, I'm about to be all over it. My training, I made a list, and once I make a list, you know it's serious. Other side, keeping this foot flat. This leg's coming out. I'm using the wall a bit. I'm pointing at my toes and keeping it away, rolling it out and away from my body. I'm putting active resistance by keeping my toes pointed away and having this arm on the inside to keep this leg out. Control your breathing, listen to your body. Okay, okay. I'm about to be out here. Ya tú sabes. Dang, this is a long minute. Awesome. Letting this leg relax. Bringing it back in. Okay. Make sure you guys are hydrating. I'll take a moment because I'm bad about it too. Well, assuming you are bad at it. This is my power juice. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we're going into our wide-legged straddle position. We have 3 different stretches here. Ugh. So I like to lean against a wall. Doesn't really matter because I'm gonna be pushing my body forward anyhow. Come on, leg. You can do it. Does it give you powers? If you have to ask, you wouldn't understand this. All right. So from here, we're gonna go middle. So, chest is open, spine is in line, meaning like you're not hunching over, right? And you're just, it's almost like you're hinging at your hips. to pull your chest down towards the ground, right? So none of this. Don't sink your shoulders in and try to roll your body in. So you're just cheating yourself. Pull your chest towards the ground. You're really trying to get that deep stretch. Don't worry so much about the aesthetic of like, oh, I'm so close to the ground, you know? Really try to lean into it. Oof. So for me, I leaned forward and I pulled my toes away from my body a bit, and I really felt that. So, ugh. It's crazy how like just a slight variation in the placement of a body part can affect everything, especially when it comes to stretches. 10 more seconds. Really lean into your exhales. And slowly come back up. Okay, I'm going left side. Right, so I'm just a mirror for you guys right now. So if you were watching me, you would do the same side that you see me going on. Don't try to be like, okay, wait, that's her right. Boom, left is left. We're on this journey together. So what we're doing for this stretch, it's not this one. It's one arm wrapped here, and this arm is going over. So it's important we're keeping our chest open the whole time. So we're not turning in, so that we're getting this elongated stretch here as well. So for me, I'm actively pulling my shoulder back because gravity is really trying to pull me down. And I'm pulling on this foot. Maybe you're at your ankle to just create that resistance on my leg as well. And I'm making sure I'm keeping my chest turned out and open. Really control your breathing here. Oh my goodness. Alright. I really like this variation because it stretches this entire side, which can be really important for shoulder health as well. Because if you have like tight lats, like this whole muscle, it can just create more tension on your shoulders. For me, I personally have shoulder issues, or a shoulder issue. So I like to make sure that everything's loose. Like you'll see on this side, this is my bad shoulder. It's gonna be a bit tighter for me. Make sure you guys are listening to your body. Remember, you shouldn't be feeling any pain. Like all this dog fur on my sock. Same thing. I'm actively pulling this left shoulder back, rounding my arm over, keeping my chest open and turned out, like I'm looking up. And I'm pulling on this foot, maybe at your ankle, keep that resistance on your leg. Control your breathing. We're more than halfway there. It's such a deep stretch for me on my left side. All right, remember we got that up. Everything slowly, 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 slowly. We're gonna go into our seated forward bend. As soon as I can get my legs to close. Heel, knees, heel, knees, heel, knees, heel, knees. Oh my gosh, it's so tiring. Like when you're actively stretching, you're creating that resistance on your body. Like your body will stay warm, and it's tiring. Some of you guys might be sweating. It's a little chilly, so I don't think I'm sweating, but I do feel that heat. Okay, so same thing. We were in our straddle position when we were leaning forward, kind of hinging at our hips, bringing our chest down to our legs, not our head, not rounding our back. So grab where you can. And remember, we're leaning into our exhales. So I like to keep my feet flexed for this position. So I like to have it pointed. Not right now, Zeus, just with everything going on. Like, practices are really late, kind of conflicts with my work schedule. And it's pretty much just conditioning. So my thinking was just like, if I am keeping up with like my cardio and I'm strengthening my body, once I can start like contact and just do more drills, then I can go back out there. But right now I work evenings with my job, and that's when practices are. And my state is on a curfew, so it's just not working out right now. Alright, so now we're just bringing a leg in. Alright, so I like to make sure I kind of turn this hip out so that I'm getting that full L shape. Work's been great. I told you about my promotion. I don't know if you were here, but I got promoted yesterday, so that's awesome. And I'm already working towards that next promotion. I pretty much am there, but I have to prove myself with my new caseload. So I'm excited. I start with my new clients on Monday. All right, so now I'm leaning over this leg. I'm bringing my chest down, down, down. Depending on your torso, maybe it's your quad, that thigh muscle, your knee. I mean, it could even be your shin, but you're just bringing that chest down. You're gonna really lean into the stretch. Don't force yourself into anything either. I say lean in with your exhales, but as much as your body allows you to. Ten more seconds. Other side. Yeah, it was awesome. Like, you know, it's always nice to feel appreciated, but you know, especially like in my work, I just didn't know what to expect when I was going into the meeting. I just knew that I deserved a promotion and I was gonna advocate for myself. But it started out with like, oh, like we want to offer you this position. Like, we feel very confident in your abilities, and we really appreciate everything you've been bringing, you know, to the company and to your clients. And they just had these very specific, concrete examples of like all the ways that I've been excelling. Like they were using the words like amazing and like, you know, like absolutely ideal. We want to use, like, we want to record you with your clients so that we can use it for training. I'm just like, they see me. You know, like it's nice to be seen and to be appreciated for what your worth is. And yeah, from a business perspective, they really matched it as well. And yeah, I was like, what are you guys looking for the next promotion? And they told me, they were like, you pretty much, we already see it in you, and we'd be confident doing that if we can see you translate that to this new caseload. So here we go. I want to be lead of my position. Yeah. I want to be the lead behavioral therapist before I've been there a year. Like if I could have gone in applying for the lead position, but that's not how the company works, and I wasn't nationally registered. Like you have to go through training and certification and stuff. So like I had to start from the bottom and work my way up, which is fine. Thank you. Remember, bringing our chest down, leaning into our exhales. So this one I feel a bit in my lower back as well. My left side of my back is just like a lot tighter. So my exhales, my chest is sinking into it. We're hinging at our hips. Ten more seconds. Alright. We're coming out of things slowly. We're about to do my favorite stretch, the butterfly. Dang lights. Okay, so I like to use a wall. I always say this. I use a wall so that I can mimic buddy stretching, partner stretching, where I can push down on my, not my knees. You don't want to push down directly on your knees, but right above it on my quads. I push down to create that extra resistance. Once you push down, you can just kind of passively hold there. So we're gonna hold this for 2 minutes. So maybe you don't have to push down. Maybe you're just kind of like hovering under, in fact, like that's okay. As long as you're feeling that stretch, you're feeling it here. I feel a lot in my groin. It's hips and groin. Same thing. Try to add resistance with your exhales. Be slow. Listen to your body. Accurate. We have made some progress on the butterfly. .2 minutes is long. Just keep controlling your breathing. Alright, now slowly, if you're adding resistance, slowly let go of that resistance. I'm going on the bottom side of my leg, well, floor side, and slowly pulling my knees together. That's a pretty deep hip and groin stretch, so you don't want to force yourself. You know, let your hips adjust. So I just like to rotate like this whenever I'm in like deep hip positions. Really get it back in its position. Yeah, hello Acrab. Did you just wake up? Alright, we're going into our frog pose. Alright, so a frog pose. I'm using the wall. I want to make sure my knees are in line with my ankles, right? So spread as much as you need. Make sure that alignment's there. You are not, okay, so from here, you're trying to sink down, right? But you're not jutting forward, right? So you can see my back leg. I'm not pushing myself forward so that I can like try to lay down. We're not leaping like a frog. We're sitting in that crouched frog position. So for me, I go on my elbows. I'm staying centered and I'm actively driving my hips towards the ground. This is mainly a passive stretch where gravity's just kind of pulling you. But if you really want to activate, drive those hips towards the ground. And it's more of a mental thing than anything else because your hips really aren't going to move, but like mentally you're creating that resistance and physically you're creating that resistance. So 1 minute here. Remember, it's like you're tucking your tailbone in. So tuck and drive. More than halfway there. Why is it gonna be a long day? Like a long good day? Or just really busy? Or are you tired? What's going on? I'm bringing my heels together into my knees together. Ugh. And there we go. We're out. Okay. So this next one, dang, where did I put my strap? Hooah. Like dog first step on me. We're almost done. Okay. Recline the hamstring stretch. So, if you have a strap, I like to put my strap, you have calluses or where those would be, it's like right under there, right around that area. So not on your toes and not too far down towards your heel. I'm gonna explain strap and then I'll explain if you don't have a strap. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna straighten our leg as much as we can. And so with the strap, I'm flexing my foot. So that means I'm almost jutting my heel away from my body and I'm pulling straight down. So I'm really getting that stretch all in my hamstring. All right, if you do not have a strap, so you can be here and really force that heel up, flex that foot, toes towards head, heels away. Or you can create that resistance and put one leg on your quad, Try to straighten your leg as much as you can. I'm not very good at doing those, so I like to use a strap. If you're like, I don't have a fancy strap, you can use a dog leash. So I don't have a dog. You might have to order a strap then. Okay. So 1 minute here. So I'm actively creating that resistance, pushing my heel away, pulling down. Feel it all in my hamstring. Oof. Yeah, pushing my heel away, pulling my toes down towards me. Keep your breathing controlled. Oh, it didn't start the timer. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna put another 30 seconds. I looked and I'm like, how much time is left? I never pressed play. Ugh. Pulling straight down. Keep that resistance. Slowly letting my leg drop. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Alright. Now I'm doing the other side. So same thing. Put my strap on. Meow. Almost done. Okay. 1 minute. Let's pull down. So heel away, toes towards your head. Pull down to create that resistance. Driving my heel away from my body. Ten more seconds. Slowly drop your leg. Shake it out, shake it out. All right, we're gonna go into our quad stretches. Yeah, a few more seconds. I guess it doesn't hurt. And after the rough work day was yesterday, I gotta be prepared. Oh man. And it's just you and the boss when you're working, right? Or, I don't know, you never really mentioned coworkers. Okay, so we're not going into our quad stretches yet. We actually have reclined pigeon pose first. So let's do that. So, back on our back. 1 foot up. We're crossing it over, so ankles on the outside of this quad. Reaching in the hoop, legs up. I like to hook my heel on this outside arm, and I'm holding on my shin. And you're gonna slowly pull into your chest till you feel that resistance. I like to keep this foot flexed and actively push this cross knee away. So it'd be this knee away from my body. So not the leg that I'm pulling forward, the one that's just crossed over. So it's pulling away. I'm pulling this other leg towards my chest. More than halfway done. Okay. I'm uncrossing. I'm just gonna rock it out. Rocking my hips from side to side. Okay, center. Same thing on this other side. Cross. In the hoop. Legs up. Like to hook this heel on my outside arm. I am mentally, actively pushing this away. So I'm not using my arm or anything. It's just I'm forcing it away from my body as I pull this leg towards my chest. So 1 minute here. Make sure you keep that foot flexed. This one. So you can use your arm, it just depends on your body placement. Because sometimes I use this elbow that's in the hoop to push my thigh away. But you can also just mentally pull your knee away from your body. Let it pull as close to your chest. Slowly let go of the resistance, uncross. We're just rocking it out. Okay. And now we're going into our quad stretches. I changed mine for the sake of my knee health. And I am gonna roll my mat a bit for my knees. So I'm just gonna take my mat, fold it over, take it, fold it over, so that I can place my knees here and have that extra cushion. Whew. All right, so like we're in this lunge position, and we're gonna grab this back foot. I'm actually gonna scoot closer in case I need the wall for balance. Let me bring my timer. Yeah, so we're grabbing this back foot, pulling it towards our bodies. You should feel this out here in your quad. If you need to use something for balance, that's no problem. I try without, but I'd be struggling. Control your breathing. Remember, you shouldn't be feeling any pain. What the heck? Like, that makes no, so I know it's not me now. I'm must be pressing start twice. Like, so I'm actually playing it and pausing it, so it is me. Because it was just paused at 58 seconds. Spam clicking. We're getting an extra deep stretch on this side. Whoa, 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 whoa. 2 more seconds. Switch to the other side. So anyone who has knee problems, be very careful when you're stretching your quads, because a lot of quad stretches, though your quad muscle goes into your knee, you know, you can strain your knee as well. A lot of quad stretches even, you know, they strain my knees, and I don't have a medical history of knee problems. So I'll show you an alternative if this isn't working for you. This works better for me than some of the other stretches I've done. But even so, there are some less strenuous, ow, goodness, I keep falling. Less strenuous ones. There we go. Make sure you're just getting that quad stretch. So once you feel that, you can just kind of sit there. Yeah, so some of the other quad stretches I was doing like on day like 1 and 2 weren't feeling too good on my body, so I have changed it. I took those stretches out. If those worked for you, you can do those. This works for you, perfect. If it doesn't, some of the quote-unquote like safer ones are ones you've probably seen, as far as standing like 1 foot up, holding here. These always feel fine on my knees. These are really nice. Maybe I'll put this at the beginning of our stretches as well, because I start with our standing forward bend, but we could do this as well. Yeah, it's a lot less strenuous on the knees. You could also do the same position lying down on your side or on your stomach. Just FYI. I tried them yesterday and I just honestly didn't feel a good stretch. Alright. I'm gonna straighten my mat back out. We're gonna go into happy baby. So, again, if you ever see babies do this when they're like playing with their feet or chewing on their toes, whatever the case is, laying on your back. So, legs are up. You're basically pulling from inside your legs, holding. So fingers are coming on the outside of those feet. Keeping your feet slightly more than shoulder width, and you're pulling down. Okay, I'm gonna start my timer before I get into this. Just pulling down. So this is my groin, my hips. So just you holding your feet, like gravity is putting that extra resistance. I do not enjoy this stretch whatsoever. I just want that to be known. This stretch doesn't, like, it doesn't hurt, it just some of these passive stretches, especially like this one, a pull down, I'm like, oh gosh. I almost want to like take my hands off. I can't see my timer, but I know I'm almost done. Okay, cool. So slowly bringing my feet down, bringing my knees together. Ugh. And I'm gonna rock it out. Alrighty. I think we have come to the best part. Hey, that's awesome, Akrep. I'm glad. Now it's me and the boss's knee. Oh yes, the knees. Kathy she doesn't want to risk bringing it to the shop. Got it. But none of them can handle the lack of brakes. Gotcha. So is this just like a only her business, or is it like a family business? Is it a startup? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, is she trying to expand and make it bigger? Is it gonna stay small? Okay. So now we are gonna do our splits. So add blocks. If you're like, blocks? I didn't know I needed blocks. Well, you don't need them. I use them because they help keep your hips squared. They're also good for balancing, but you don't need them. So if you can just hold yourself in that position, great. I would say in the long run, you probably would want to get blocks if you're trying to do your splits. That's just personally my opinion. Make sure you're hydrating, guys. Yeah, my legs are feeling mad loose like jello. Alright, so I got a double stack over here. I'm gonna start with my front right leg. My right side front splits. Okay. So if you do have blocks, I'm basically resting my cheek, my right cheek, because my right foot's forward. My right cheek is going to be on the block. Alright. Holy moly. Trying to make sure my hips are squared. Whew. I'm looking funky. Oh, I got scoliosis. Alright, we're gonna hold it for a minute. So this is gonna be the same thing as like our half split pose, when we're trying to bring our chest into our leg, right? We're trying to lean into this. Okay. So if you're anything like me, it's going to be really important that you control your breathing. Being crouched like this is really not good for my asthma. I have to be really cognizant to inhale, exhale. Point to my toes. Oof, slowly get out of this. So I'm leaning towards my hip, bringing my heel towards me, my knee forward. Remember, never force your body into or out of anything. Let's see. It's her business. She started out of her family pizza business about 3 years ago. She's been trying her best to expand, trying to get on Shark Tank and things like that. Oh, that's awesome. Good for her. And good for you for, you know, like, being one of the workers that see what she's doing and willing to work with her. And, you know, because I know it's hard at first, you know, when you're first starting a business, right? Sometimes you just can't offer your employees everything that you may want to, or that they could probably get at like a, you know, multi-billion-dollar company. But I feel like you do really well with, I don't know, just appreciating what they're doing and what you do, your role there. And I know they treat you well. What outro? Awesome. I don't know who the second person is, but I know the first one. Tyron, thank you so much. I don't know about a drop split, but so you know. I'm definitely making progress. So I'm gonna go do my left front split. So left leg is going forward. This leg is more flexible than my right, as far as I can tell. Okay, so my left cheek, boom, is going on the block. So 1 minute. Remember, we're trying to bring her chest down. I'm pointing my foot to create that tension. Keeping my hips squared. Remember, control your breathing. Ten more seconds. Slowly reach up, bringing my heel towards my back knee, my knee towards my heel. Awesome. That's awesome, Akra. Good for you. And I'm glad, I'm glad she gave you that opportunity. I'm glad you guys both do good for each other. Okay. Oh, I do need my block still. Alright, we're going into our straddle. So my straddle is trash, but we all start somewhere. So, gonna inch my way out as much as I can. I'm just using my blocks to hold my hands. So when it comes to your straddles, you definitely do not want to fall deeper than your body wants to be. So 1 minute here. Make sure you're holding yourself. I got my toes turned out, I have my chest high. Mad resistance because gravity itself got you. This is good because I can use the mat actually to see my progress. Right now it's like mid-foot. You're more than halfway there. Kind of like sinking my hips down into this, where gravity is at least. God, I hate straddles. Jeez. Right, slowly, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels. Awesome. And now our final split stretch. Da, 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 da. Where's hair on me? Alright, so we don't need the blocks anymore. It's gonna be a wall straddle. So this one's very passive. Alright. So what you're gonna do, go to a wall. You're gonna scoot your butt onto the wall. Takes me a bit. Okay. Alright, we do this stretch for 2 minutes. So what you're gonna do, let your legs fall out as wide as you can. Straighten those knees. Point your toes away from your body. You should already be feeling the stretch. And then you just rest here. So just make sure your toes are pointed out. Should be feeling it all here. What song am I gonna sing today? Okay. We're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. If we're trying, so we're breaking free. Can't wait. Yeah. Is this right? Can you feel it building? Like a wave that ocean just can't control. Connected by your feeling. Ooh, in our very soul, very soul. Rising till it lifts us up, so everyone can see. We're breaking free, we're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. If we're trying, yeah, we're breaking free. Oh, we're breaking free. We're running, climbing to get to the place to be all that we can be. Now's the time, so we're breaking free. We're breaking free. I don't even know the rest of this. I don't think I actually know that song. But perfect timing. Yo, no lie. Singing, despite how poorly, really distracts from the discomfort of stretching. So I definitely recommend it. Oh my gosh. Don't mind me, guys. Listen, it helps, it helps. Okay, so you have officially finished. What is it? What is this? Day 5? Are we on day 5? It should be day 5. Yeah. Day 5 of split stretching. I'm gonna do just a couple like full body stretches real quick, just for my body. But as far as just splits, you're good. You did it. Congratulations, mad hype. You're amazing. If you're just like, I actually didn't do it, I was just hanging out, bet I appreciate the support. I appreciate you being here. So I'm gonna go into child's pose. I like the feel on my back and my shoulders. So just relaxing, like outstretching your shoulders. So imagine if you were hanging off like a pull-up bar. That's how I like to do this. That's how it feels good for my shoulders. Some people like to be here with their elbows kind of out. I don't do yoga. I don't know. Whatever feels good for you, cool. Alright, stretching my back, crossing over. This arm is going across. Opening my chest. Snap, crackle, pop. And I'm taking some breaths here. Other side. Here we go. Yep, snap, crackle, pop. Chest high, open. Taking some breaths. Alright, so I'm just throwing this leg over, looking the opposite way, getting this full trunk stretch. If you have to just be here, that's fine. Other side. Throwing this leg over. And I'm too close. Throwing this leg over. Looking on the other side. Remember, so if you have to rest here, as long as you're getting this full trunk rotation and stretch, you're good. You can have your arm here, have it here. Alrighty. It got mad bright. Did it? On my screen? Alright, you used to be about to be mad flexible. I'm just stretching my wrists, so I'm just leaning over my hands, doing some circles, getting that full rotation, every angle. Flipping my hands. Boop. So now I'm leaning back. I was leaning forward and around. Now I'm leaning back and around. Like doing that half circle. Okay, my hands like this, going down, leaning from this side to this side, this side, this side. Pinkies together, fingertips towards your face. Oh, psych, we're going down and out, right? And now you plop them down. Leaning side to side, stretching wherever feels needs to be stretched, wherever I can feel that resistance. I like to go back to the original stretch at the end, just for feel wise. Holding on my palm, pulling back, getting that resistance from my forearms. Other side. Oh, I didn't mean to change. I mean, I didn't change the exposure, it just changed itself. Is it back to normal or? So I'm holding like actually it's slightly lower than my elbow. Pulling down. Other side. Okay, good. So I'm competing with Zeus's Zeus's spirit on who's gonna get the splits first. I'm rooting for myself, but it's a tough call. Onto your neck. Light pressure towards the side, so ear towards shoulder. Keep your shoulders dropped down. You don't want to like tuck and be tense. Relax that so you can get that stretch. So now I'm slowly turning my chin towards my armpit, grabbing here, light stretch. So it'll change where you're stretching your neck. Relax your shoulders. Other side, same thing. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Turning my chin towards my armpit, pulling down. Now, pulling down a bit, very, very lightly. Be very gentle with your neck. Gravity does the most. Just the weight of your hand being there. And I'm just going around very lightly. Awesome. And do some shoulders and then that'll be it. Whoa. So this is better in an archway, but I have this jutting out, so why not? I'm holding it and I'm opening my chest away. I'm gonna open that shoulder girdle. Okay, I'm switching sides, so now my thumb is going down like a thumbs down. Holding. Now I'm pushing away from the wall. Let's get this different rotation. And I feel that all deep in my shoulder. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side. So I'm opening my chest. Getting this shoulder girdle open. I say shoulder girdle, but I'm like, I don't know exactly where the girdle is. Every time I stretch it though, that's what my instructor would say. But I know it's opening up my shoulders. I'm gonna study the anatomy of the shoulder just so I can say it with some dignity and confidence. Again, I'm just the athlete following what I've been taught throughout my life. Not a professional. So I'm rotating out. Okay. My favorite for like just opening up my shoulders, at least for my injury. Juan, greetings, bienvenidos desde los Estados. ¿Cómo te va? Alright, so pinky side, hands on wall. I'm gonna lean into it, so I'm opening up my shoulders, so letting them outstretch. I'm not keeping them tense, forcing them up or down. They're just stretching out. And now I'm kind of stretching out and pulling up as if I was doing a pull-up. You can go on your palms if that's better. Look for that deeper stretch on the side that you're looking at. To the other side. Alright, we did it. Aw. Well, I'm glad I'm sorry to hear that it threw your day off yesterday, but I'm glad that, you know, you're getting something from this. I feel like I'm definitely getting something from this. It definitely holds me accountable. I feel good. Like, I feel that good energy. It wakes up my whole mind, body, and spirit. And I'm getting closer to my split, so I'm super happy. Anyone else who's on this journey, I hope you're feeling the same. Pause battle. So yeah, remember, we do these every day, todos los días, at noon Eastern time, so 12 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, so I'll be on tomorrow with the stretches, but tonight 8 p.m. Eastern time I'll be doing piano, so that's one of our other goals. I think we're on day 55 or 54 of that journey. We're pretty far along there, so I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Definitely let me know in the comments if there's anything else you wanted to stretch, or any feelings, any feedback. Let me know. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe. Again, we'll be here every day, and there's a lot more goals and journeys that will be going on. Accra, if you think, I hope so. I would love to do this in a month. But all right, have an amazing day, guys. You guys are goated. You're awesome. Thank you for being here. And yeah, let's take on the day